please. I want money.
I want your money. Dominic Alafaci.
That's what I want.
That's what I want from Colin's house. Good morning, Dominic. How are you?
I want.
Very well, thanks, Darren. And yourself?
Really well. Overnight, what happened?
Overnight, we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average give back 0.7% to 43,445, whilst the Nasdaq dropped 1.32% to 5,870, and the Nasdaq, I should say the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq dropped a massive 2.2% to 16,680, following a week of even stronger gains after Trump's emphatic victory in the US election. Across the Atlantic, London's FTSE was steady, with the French, German and Italian bourses lower. West Texas Intermediate is $1.75 lower to $66.95 US a barrel, whilst Brent crude is hovering at just over 71 cents US a barrel. Gold gave back $6.50 to $2,566.40 US an ounce, and the $1 is slightly higher against the greenback and is currently buying just over 64.5 US cents, with the ASX 200 SPY 26 points lower, pointing to a weaker start on Monday following Friday's effort, where our market put on a healthy 0.75% to end the week at 8,285.
If you have a question for Dominic Alafaci about retirement, maybe finance, investment, I'd love you to give him a call. 133693. The lines are open. You mentioned Trump there. Short-term and long-term effect of him being re-elected as president. What do you reckon is going to happen?
I think it's a mixed bag, but overall, the only thing you can say with certainty is Trump is a threat to bureaucracy. I'm sure that Oprah Winfrey is wrong when she said Americans, won't be able to cast a ballot again in 2020. I think that's just nonsense. So everybody relax and give the guy a fair go. I think he deserves it, considering what he's been through. Whether you love him or hate him, he's been elected.
Oh, he's lucky to be here too. He was nearly shot in the head, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, I know. It's amazing. But one of the great economic debates, leaving the political things aside just for a minute, is will the substitution effect outweigh the cost of tariffs? And what that means is that will America be able to build its manufacturing and other industries quickly enough to replace the imports that are going to be more expensive if Trump imposes his tariffs? And that's the great debate. No one really knows the answer to this. I think it will. He's done some great things in, not taxing tips and overtime, and so poorer people will feel better. I mean, you know how waiters get paid SFA in America and they live on their tips. Well, now they won't have to declare their tips, although they probably don't even declare their tips at times, I'm sure. But at least now they won't have to pay tax on that or any overtime. And down under, looking at Australia, if our current US ambassador, Kevin Rudd, can save face after calling Donald Trump a village idiot, then I think the imposition of tariffs won't be too bad on Australia. We just have to wait and see. But our exports around the world, China, we export about 29% of our exports to China, about 19% to Japan, then South Korea, then the Chinese Taipei, then India, and then the United States is only 3.22% of our exports. So it's bad if they're priced higher by tariffs, but we've got to worry about China, Japan, South Korea, India and Chinese Taipei before we start worrying about America.
Yeah, exactly. And Kevin Rudd, he should have known better. If you put it in print in Twitter or anywhere, it's the equivalent of putting it on the front page of the newspaper, Dominic. If it's written down and it's in social media, that's what it equates to.
Yeah, I know.
We have callers. Tracy joins us. Good morning.
Hi, Tracy.
Tracy.
Hello.
G'day, Tracy.
I have a question. Hello, good morning. Yeah. I have a question, please. I am the secretary of a mechanics institute in a small town, and we are being charged land tax. Last year was only about $300. This year it's $1,300. This building is owned by the people of the small town. Why should we be charged that land tax, please?
Exactly.
Tracy, that's a very good question. I think Jacinta Allen needs to address that, not me. Look, the State Revenue Office, the SRO, is an arm of the Victorian government. It has to collect as much taxes as it can because the Victorian government is basically bankrupt. Simple as that. Yeah. So they're trying to get as much money as they can. It seems unfair. You would think that a charitable organisation should be able to be exempt from the higher land tax values, but they're not. The threshold, that the amount that you don't get taxed on, has been dropped, and hence I think the value of that building has fallen into that. Hence you've got the bigger bill. So I would write to the State Revenue Office and ask for an exemption. I wouldn't hold your breath, because they are desperate for money, and they're taxing even the dead rats.
Are they? They are taxing dead rats. The interest repayment bill per day is up to $15 million a day.
Yeah. Look, I don't, and this is really, I'm quite central to right. I'm not central to left in my politics. I don't mind paying debt. I like debt.
$15 million a day of our money.
No, I don't mind that, provided it's going into productive assets. If you're spending $15 million a day and you're creating $20 million a day of value, I'd do it every day of the week. But unfortunately, a bit like the US, and this is what caused the big backlash against the socialists in the US, the Democrats, is because they spent stuff on bureaucracy. Bureaucracy does not add that much value. It adds some value, and you've got to have some bureaucrats. I'm not a complete nincompoop. But I think if you're spending money on things that don't provide economic benefit, they provide a warm and fuzzy feeling, you'll end up going broke.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tracy. To Alex. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. How can we help, Alex?
I just wanted to ask about investing from my super.
Yes.
I don't own any property. I don't have a clue where to even start from. How do I go about
investing in property? So,
from my
Alex, can I
super?
quickly ask your age?
46.
46. And do you have much in your super fund?
About 200.
Okay, look, it's probably a bit small to set up a self-managed super fund, to be honest with you, because the cost of setting up a self-managed super fund would be a little bit too high relative to what you've got saved. So if you wanted to buy a property with superannuation money, you'd have to wait a little bit or make some additional contributions. Now, do you have cash in the bank? Do you have shares? Do you have other assets that you could liquidate to top up your super?
No, but I was thinking of just putting extra money so I don't have to pay so much tax. I've just upped my hours.
Yes, that's a good
full-time
thing.
now, so,
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether that I would have to pay anything for it, or would I be penalized if I pay any extra into my super?
Well, if you put money that you're putting into super and you don't claim a tax deduction, there's no penalty. That's called a non-concessional contribution. If you put around $30,000 in a year between yourself and your employer, then you pay 15% tax on the way in. So get some financial advice on your personal circumstances to see whether it's better for you to put more money into super. Do you own your own home?
Well, it's under my husband's name. Yes, we do own it.
You do.
But,
Fantastic.
yeah,
That's
it's not in
fantastic.
my name, though.
But why don't you leave your details off air, and I'll get someone to talk to you, because perhaps your husband's super and your super you could combine, and then you could set up a self-managed super fund. But on the numbers you've given me today, I would probably not set up a self-managed super fund and not buy property.
Thanks for the call. 6 to 10. And to Debbie, good morning.
Good morning, guys. My question for Dominic is, I am a 57-year-old woman. I have been diagnosed with terminal cancer. I am thinking of applying for my superannuation, and will I pay tax on that?
Okay, Debbie, the answer is probably not pay any tax. Look, I've been involved in a couple of cases like this in the past, and it's very difficult to get sometimes to get the insurance companies within the super funds to pay you your money. Which super fund are you with?
Network Wealth.
Netwealth. Oh, they're pretty good, in actual fact.
They
You're
are
lucky.
They've been fantastic. They've even sent me flowers.
Oh, look, my heart goes out to you. Life's very short, and we've got to be grateful for every hour that we live. So for someone that's had something that's like that, potentially taken away from them, I'm sure everybody listening our thoughts go with you. But I hope you have a terrific rest of your life, however long that is. And please, if you have any trouble with net wealth, give me a call. I can vouch. I've used them myself, and we've got a couple of clients with them. We find them very good. Bureaucracy, doesn't matter how big or small it is, can get in the way of common sense every now and then. But please, if you have any trouble getting your claim, you should be able to get the claim tax-free. But if you've got a good advisor, go through them. If not, please leave your details off air, and I'm happy to get someone in the office to help you.
Yeah, good luck, Debbie. That's terrible
Our
news.
hearts are with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Dominic, the current financial situation, not only of Victoria, but how does it compare to the country? How are we looking?
We're probably last, I would say. We're probably last in terms of our debt ratio to income. It's going to be a difficult look. If John Pesutto wins the next election, he's going to have a terrible problem on his hands. It's a bit like getting into a relationship where your partner has got a house that's worth $1 million and owes $1.5 million. That's what it's like.
Dominic,
So,
you have a great Saturday. Dominic
thanks,
Alafaci
guys.
from Collins House.
It's a rich man.